everyone and welcome. Today we're going to be doing an air dry clay project.
Hello from VoiceOver Sammy. What we will need for our tea candle project is wax paper so it doesn't stick to the surface, any kind of air dry clay, a clay knife, a butter knife, not a sharp knife. We don't want a sharp one. Slip. This is actually a water and air dry clay mixture. I recommend using dried out clay and not moist clay to mix it together. And I'll show you that later. A tea candle or a tea light. It's like a really tiny candle, and I'll show you that later as well. Okay, we're going to need to grab our wax paper, and we're going to place that on the surface there so our air dry clay doesn't stick. This is actually the air dry clay that I use. I bought that from Hobby Lobby, but you can use whatever air dry clay that you want to. This is the knife that I use. You're going to need a bowl, and you're going to need your air dry clay. And this is where I actually use the moist air dry clay. It will stick to your fingers if you use the moist air dry clay. If you use the dried out air dry clay in this, I believe that it would mix better. You'll need water as well to add that to your air dry clay. And then you're going to need to mix that together. But from my experience, it is not actually combining very well. And this is why I recommend using dried out air dry clay. I tried to mix this for quite some time, and it seemed to not work as well as I wanted it to. This is the end result. We are going to grab some of that clay, and we are going to make a ball. We're just going to move it around in our hands, pinch and roll and move it, and try to smooth it out a bit. And then we'll finally get our ball. And as you can tell, I'm just moving it around, trying to get it the way I want. And then finally, after a few minutes of rolling it in my hand, I have the finished product. This is what a tea light or a tea candle looks like. It's just a really tiny candle. And we will be using this with our project just a little bit. And there we go. We're going to need to grab that ball of clay that we had earlier and smash that down a little bit. And then we're going to grab our tea light and put it in the center of that ball of clay. And then we're going to push it down as firmly as we can and wiggle that tea light around a little bit. And then once we get it down in there far enough, I'm trying to conceal that silver a little bit around the edges of the tea light. And then wiggle it around. We'll need to wiggle it around like that a few times before we're finished. Remove the tea light. And then it will be wrinkled a little bit, but that's okay. We'll take care of that later. I'm going to grab my knife, and we're going to cut around the edges at an angle. And we're going to do that to every side of this little circle that we have here. You just take those edges and put them to the side and move them out of the way. And try not to get too close to the center of the tea light. If you do, then that could cause a problem later on. So we need to flip it over and then do the same on the other side. We're cutting at an angle on the sides there. And we're going around the whole tea light. Just cutting and removing, and then we're going to flip that over, and we're going to see how it looks on the other side. And we're going to actually grab our slip, and you can use water if you'd like. We don't have to use slip. We're just smoothing out those edges. We're just going to smooth them out as good as we can, and we're going to just keep going and going until we get the smoothness that we want. I'm going to add music here so we can enjoy some music while we're smoothing this out. grab that tea candle again and push it down in there and wiggle it around a little bit more. I'm just trying to get the shape to the point that I want it. And I'm going to smooth it out just a little bit more and see if I actually like the end product. I'm going to shape it a little bit more. And that's what it looks like on the inside. I'm going to grab that tea candle one more time and show you what it looks like inside there. And push it down a little bit more firmly. I'm going to shape it a little bit more. And it could take several tries to get the shape and form the way that you want it. I'm going to take the candle out one more time and show you the middle there. And I think we did a pretty good job.
Please like and subscribe. Thanks for joining me today, and there will be more air dry clay projects to come. See you next time. Bye!